History, Chapter 1, The Indian Subcontinent and History. In this chapter, we shall understand how geographical conditions influence human life and also the interrelationship between history and geography. History is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. Some of the past events are Battle of Kalinga, Battle of Panipat, Partition of Bengal. All these events were written logically and were organized well so that it is clear and easy to understand. For this reason, we have a proper account of these important events and it has helped us to progress. The arts, customs, etc. are still alive with the help of these accounts. Time, place, society and individuals are the four pillars of history. These four pillars are very important. Each one plays a significant role in the writing of history. Geographical conditions and history. Out of the four pillars, place is related to geography as it tells us about the geographical conditions. History studies the past of a particular place and so history and geography are inseparable. History is influenced by geographical conditions in many ways like our diet, clothing, housing, occupation. Human life in any region depends on its geographical characteristics. We often read in history about the past agricultural methods or what people of a particular area used to eat or what they used to wear. All these things are dependent on geographical climate of that area. For example, the life of the people in hilly regions is difficult. The availability of fertile land is less. Grains and vegetables are scarce. This has an effect on the diet of the people and so they depend on hunting and gathering food. While in the plains, the life of the people is comfortable. Fertile land is available on a large scale. Grains and vegetables are found in plenty. They consume food grains and vegetables in larger quantity. Due to these reasons, we find differences in the lifestyle of the people in the hilly regions and those living on the plains. A person's source of income gives him the money to buy the things he needs. The climate, rainfall, agricultural produce, flora and fauna of the region where we live are some of the features of our livelihood. We know that where the means of livelihood are plenty, we find more human settlements. Right from the ancient times till modern times, different settlements developed and prospered in the areas where the livelihood was plentiful. But sometimes, due to degradation of the environment, drought, earthquakes, cyclones or invasions, people had to leave their settlements and move in search of availability of the basic needs like food, water, and shelter. Thus, it is clear that there is a close relation between history and geography. Geographical features of India. India is a large country. It extends far and wide. It has Himalayas to the north, the Bay of Bengal to the east, the Arabian Sea to the west, and the Indian Ocean to the south. Except for the islands of Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep, the rest of the country's area is contiguous, that is, touching along a boundary. It means all the states share their boundaries to one another. When we study the ancient history of India, we need to take into account the region. Ancient India included the countries of Pakistan and Bangladesh before 1947, as they were also a part of India. The Indian mainland has been broadly divided into different regions. The Hindu Kush is the main mountain range in the Central Asian state of Afghanistan. The Himalayas stretch across the northeastern part of India. These mountains lie in the northern side of the Indian subcontinent. They are a great climatic barrier in between the Indian subcontinent and the deserts of Central Asia. They save our country from the cold and dry winds of Central Asia. The land route which passed through the Khyber and Bolan passes in the Hindu Kush mountains was connected to the ancient trade route. Later, the trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia. This route was known as the Silk Route or Silk Road because silk cloth, which was the main commodity, was exported to the western countries through this road. This road was also used by many foreign invaders as well as by the foreign travelers to enter ancient India. The plains consists of the basins of the three big rivers, Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra, and their tributaries. They are also known as the Great Plains. They are covered with one of the most productive soils of the world. These soils have the capacity to grow any crop of the tropical and temperate regions. They are often termed as granary of India. The largest Indian civilization as well as the states and empires of ancient India had emerged from this region. The Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is a large, arid region in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. It is located in Rajasthan, Haryana, and Gujarat, which is partly in today's Pakistan. The desert has the Satluj River to its north, the Aravalli mountain range to its east, the Rann of Kutch to its south, and the Indus, that is Sindhu River, to its west. River Ghaggar originates in Himachal Pradesh and reaches the Thar Desert. It is known as Hakra in Pakistan. It is one of the oldest rivers in India. The river gradually dries out in Pakistan, but the monsoon rain fills up the Ghaggar River again with water every year. The Deccan Plateau is a large plateau in western and eastern coast of India. It has the Arabian Sea to its west, the Indian Ocean to its south, and the Bay of Bengal to its east. So, it is a major part of the Indian peninsula. Peninsula is a region bounded by the sea on three sides. Vindhya and Satpura mountains are located to the north of the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri mountain ranges are to its west. They are known as the Western Ghats. The mountains on the eastern side of the Deccan Plateau are known as the Eastern Ghats. Due to the fertile land, many post-Harappan agrarian cultures as well as the Mauryan Empire and other small empires also grew and developed in this region. The coastal regions. India has a vast coastline of approximately 7,000 kilometers along the Arabian Sea in the west and the Bay of Bengal in the east. Ancient Indians carried on trade with the western countries through the sea routes. This helped India to contact and interact with foreign cultures and people at the seaports. Indian culture and trade relations were taken to Southeast Asia by the Indian traders. Andaman and Nicobar are the Indian islands in the Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep is a group of Indian islands in the Arabian Sea. The manuscript Periplus of the Arthurian Sea or Handbook of the Red Sea is a handwritten book by an unknown Greek sailor, has a mention of Indian islands. It was written in the 1st century CE. It gives us information about the trade that went on along the Indian coastline. Many ports of ancient time are mentioned in it. Today's Pakistan was a part of India before independence. The cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are in Pakistan today. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and India together form the region which is known as South Asia. Considering the expanse and significance of India in this region, it is known as the Indian subcontinent. A subcontinent is part of a larger continent made up of a number of countries that form a large mass of land. China and Myanmar are our neighboring countries. Though they are not a part of South Asia or the Indian subcontinent, but they had cultural and trade relations with ancient India. So, they have an important place in the study of ancient Indian history. The more you know about the past, the better prepared you are for the future. Thank you for watching the video.